Hello everyone and welcome back to RoboFreaks. If you are watching this video, it tells us two things. One is, you have watched Among Us Part 1 and are really excited for Part 2. Second is, we have crossed 5k views on our last video. Thank you so much for all the support you guys have shown. Keep supporting us and we will keep making such amazing game development videos and tutorials for you. With that being said, let's get started. Part 1 of Among Us, we saw how to create moving backgrounds, zooming hacks, little bit about relative motion. If you haven't watched part 1, I highly recommend watching that first and then continuing with Among Us part 2. The game appears similar to what we built in the last part, but we see some extra objects like this machine and this laptop here. If we touch the laptop, an instruction pops up, giving us a task. The task is to collect keys from all these different devices and enter on this laptop after combining them. As soon as I press S, the task begins and a timer starts along with some noisy lasers. We have to collect the keys before the timer runs out while protecting ourselves from these deadly lasers. If we fail to do so, we lose the game. But if we enter the keys correctly within the time limit, we will be victorious. And the sound effect gave me chills. Hit like if you agree. We have to implement many different things to make this game. So, before getting into the code, we should first list down the small tasks which we need to do. On the top of the list would be to create and place the machines properly on the map. Next would be adding lasers in the game. Once this is done, we will write the logic to generate the keys on each machine. Last but not the least, we will create the losing and winning effects. Let us start off by creating these machines, which will be giving us tasks. But before creating anything new, we must keep in mind that our map is highly zoomed, which is why anything we place on the map will also need to be zoomed by that amount. So, rather than creating a new sprite, I will duplicate this boundary sprite, which already has the code and the costume to make super zoom possible. This boundary will also help us in positioning our machines properly. I will upload all the images of machines, which you can also find in the description below. I want all the machines to be in a single costume. So, I will copy and paste each machine in this costume at their proper place. The size and position may be a little improper, but we can correct that. Just run the game and visit each of these locations. And according to what you see on the screen, adjust these images. Let's run the game once and check if everything is placed properly. Yeah, this looks good, but we have few issues to solve. Well, the most obvious problem is that my character is able to go through these machines. If you remember in the previous video, we faced a similar problem with the boundary. And what did we do? We added a check in our move block such that our main player only moves if it is not touching the boundary. We will do this again. I will add an OR condition to check if player is touching the machine sprite or not. This should solve our issue. Yep, I am unable to walk over the machines now. Cool. And now comes the bigger challenge. How do we detect which machine our player is touching since all these machines belong to the same sprite. It is impossible to tell which machine the sprite is touching. The only way to solve this is by creating different sprite for different machines, where every sprite will contain just a single machine. Sounds simple. All we have to do is duplicate this machine sprite 3 times, since we have 4 total machines. But before doing that, we should delete this boundary, as it will slow down our game if we create multiple copies of the same thing. But, don't delete it directly. Select the brush tool, set the size to 1 and color to none, and draw 4 dots on all sides close to the boundary. This step is really important, and I will explain why in a minute. Once you have drawn the dots, delete the boundary and verify if everything is still working like it used to. Awesome! Things are fine for me. Now I will duplicate this machine sprite 3 times. And in each of these sprites, I will keep only a single machine and rename them properly. What if we did not draw the dots? Let's delete the dots for one of the machines and run the game. Do you see this? The laptop is also following the main player as it moves rather than sticking to its original spot. All this happens because of our zoom hack. Every sprite needs to be almost same size so that they zoom equally. And these dots fool Scratch to think that the size of sprite is larger even if it is this tiny. Awesome! Now since we have different machines on different sprites, we can easily check which machine we are touching. In this move block, let us add the conditions for all of these machines separately. Machines to add task later. Now let us move to the next task in our list, which is adding the laser beams on our map. This is very simple and similar to what we did just now. I will again duplicate the boundary sprite, and this time I will draw the lasers at all the entrance by myself. Select the rectangle option. Choose reddish color. And start drawing as many lasers as you want. Now just like before, add 4 dots on the boundary and later delete the boundary from this costume too. See, the laser beams were made so quickly. And now it's time we add the animations to the lasers and make them more realistic. You must be thinking how we are going to turn the lasers on and off. It's quite simple. We will create a loop which will hide and show the lasers with some delay in between. I will keep this delay random. And also add a lasery music to give sound effects. Before testing the game, I will quickly add the code which will check whether the player has touched the laser or not. If touching, I will broadcast game over and start this sound which I have already uploaded. The laser sounds so real and game over music is terrifying. So a laser work. But I don't want the lasers to be on all the time. In the demo we saw that on touching the laptop an instruction page popped up and after closing it the laser beam started. Let us create that page quickly. I will create a new sprite and write down the instructions. In order to make the instructions more clear, let us paste the images of machines here too. And at the end, write the message indicating start of the task. This instruction should pop up if player touches this laptop. So in the main player sprite, I will continuously check whether player is touching this laptop. If true, I will broadcast a message saying laptop task. And in the laptop sprite, I will receive this message. And simply broadcast another message saying instructions. When the instruction sprite receives this broadcast, we will move instructions page at the top of everything and add a show block. So now, as soon as we touch the laptop, this screen will pop up. This pop-up should be displayed until S is pressed. We will add a wait until key S pressed block. And hide on press. Now we should start the laser animations. For this, I will do one more broadcast called Start Lasers. And in the laser sprite, replace green flag click with this message. I know these broadcasts are tiring, but it's quite easy to understand them, right? Message passing from one sprite to another, that's it. It's time we write the logic to generate our secret, highly confidential keys. I will explain how this is gonna work. Once the laser starts, our player has to go to all the machines and collect 3 different keys. Join them together and enter in this laptop again. If the key is correct, you win. Or else. First key will be generated by our command center on the right. I will use the start laser broadcast. and wait until player touches the machine. On touching, the machine should randomly generate a number which you as a player will have to remember. But not just you, even the game should remember what was generated, so it can verify later, right? For storing this number, I will create a variable called store and set this to the randomly generated value. Machine will show this number for a very short time. And send a broadcast to the station. We can copy this exact code in the station sprite and simply change the broadcast to panel and copy the same code in panel also. Since panel gives the last key, we will broadcast a message called keys collected. Whoa! Finally, all our keys have been collected. Now, all we need to do is receive this message in the laptop sprite. And once the player reaches the laptop, we will ask the player to enter all the keys in proper order. But how do we verify if the key is correct? Suppose the three machines generated three numbers 9, 4, 2. So the key will be 942. But how do we combine these numbers in code? Now, this is where number system comes in. If you notice, the first number will always be at the hundreds place, second number at the tens place, and third number at ones place, which means multiplying hundreds place number by 100, tens by 10, and ones by 1. And adding all this, we will get the actual value. Maths is awesome. I will create a new variable called key to store combination of the individual keys. Set it to 0 initially. And every time we get a new key, this variable will be updated by store into 100, since this is hundreds place. Similarly, copy this in other two machines and replace 100 by 10 and 1. Move to the laptop sprite, and if user's entered answer matches the key, we will broadcast won, else lose. issue. If we touch the laptop, instruction page will always pop up, which we don't want. To avoid this, when all keys are collected, let's set a variable to 1. Initially, this variable will be 0. An instruction page will only be shown if this variable is 0. This is a lot of code. Phew. Let's run and see the result. Amazing, but not fair. There is no challenge at all. My player will roam here and there and easily bring the keys. To make the game difficult, let's add a timer, which we have already coded in our F1 car race game. I will copy the code directly from there. You can watch the video to understand about timers. Now in this condition, along with answer matching, we will see if time is left or not. This was lengthy, but a good game will take time also, right? Let us finish what we started by adding amazing sounds and visual effects. Remember, we created won and lose broadcast. I will use those to show these messages. You can find all the sounds and costumes in the description below. Let us finally run our game and enjoy what we created. awesome! What a thrilling game! I challenge you to complete the game in 40 seconds. If you accept the challenge, post how you perform on your Instagram and Facebook. And don't forget to tag RoboFreaks. If you enjoyed making Among Us with us and want to make more such amazing games, hit the like button and subscribe to RoboFreaks. See you in the next video. Till then, happy learning, freaks!